I want to get to the emergency alert system because Glenn Beck, who is probably the third largest radio show in the country, reaching about 10 million people a week, he came out and told broadcasters they could be concerned. The full rant is up at Infowars.com in this article that we posted. And we give credit where credit is due. We like to see Beck going in the right direction. Beck talked about, all we know is the government is wired in systems that take over radio and TV at the transmitter site by federal regulations. And he said that they're going to be taking it over, and it's terrible, but we don't know the full story. Well, Beck, we do know the true story. 14 years ago, in 1997, I documented it. We're going to show a clip of that, because I talked to the engineers involved then, both in government and at the radio stations, about the plan. And I documented it again many times since, and earlier this year in February. So we're going to play the Glenn Beck clip now, then we're going to go to clips from a video I shot in February and a film I put out about a year and a half ago, Police State for the Rise of FEMA, because it's a lot worse, Glenn. They've announced they're going to be taking over cell phones and with forced messages, big jumbotron screens, even if you don't want to watch TV. You want to go get food at the grocery store. You want to go anywhere. You're going to be bombarded by Homeland Security saying terrorists are under every table, government loves you, take your shots. I mean, this is an insertion into the matrix where we're bombarded by the brainwashing. Well, good job, Glenn. Rachel Maddow criticizing Obama for continuing torture. That's a blind hog finding an acorn. Beck does a lot of good work. That's why he was run out of Fox. So, Beck, we do commend you. And we're flattered that, again, you take all of our research and repackage it. As long as you get it accurate and don't twist it, take it all. I don't need any credit. Knock yourself out. Because my children have no future if we don't defeat these people. So I commend you. Thank you. Because this is really serious. We're going to show you while I talk here the executive order where FEMA claims this authority over communications. But the issue is, he's saying brought to you by Homeland Security, Barack Obama. This was actually set up in '96 with the Telecommunications Act, the same one that said all cell phones have to be tracked by the government and they can dial in and listen to you even when your phone's off. The point is, Bill Clinton comes and goes, Bush comes and goes, Obama comes and goes. They're puppets, okay? Let's just get this straight. And again, they always repeat executive orders. I told you the power came from '96, and the Telecommunications Act actually put it in regulatorily. Bush signed the order to bump it to the next level and expand it. Each president likes to reaffirm it into the next. But this is everything. This is everything to be taken over. This is your cell phones, as we covered earlier, where the apps are taken off, or police hit a button and a special code goes out to all smartphones where they can't record. Including the new Sony camera I bought has the damn receiver to do this. I mean, everything is having, and by the way, the great part about it is you pay for it. You pay under global regulations, aren't even law, to have kill switches put in everything. Yeah, I noticed our printer paper. We can't buy printer paper now that doesn't have a World Wildlife Fund stamp on it, which says that money from that company was paid to them, which is added on to my bill. And the World Wildlife Fund runs around running eugenics operations. They're not here trying to do anything about real environmental issues. You see the genius of this system? They use our money to destroy us. Now let's go to, what's the first clip, Rob? Okay, so first it's my early report from February of this year. And then it goes into from a year and a half ago, and then it goes to me, and then it goes to Police Day 2000. Okay, all right, from over a decade ago. Okay, so by the way, Police Day 2000 also covers the light poles with microphones in them, which back then though I would even have the documents, the purchase orders in Austin for this. I told the Austin police chief, have we called to get him on yet? He claims he wants to come on now. He confronted the guys downtown. I want to jump on that because he said, Alex, don't have me on. I brought up the things in towers, and he was like, how do you know about that? And then his adjunct started blabbering. He said, shut up. He was like shocked, like I got one that can see. I mean, come on, man. All right. I'm going to stop right there. By the way, I want to say this, and I say this every show now. The crew overdoes it. I mean, This is because they're in here. They see this. They're living this. They're focused on this, not on the nightly football or acting cool. They're seeing everything I see and more. And that's why they always bring too much to the table. I'd rather have too much than too less. Let's go ahead and go to this compilation just so we can point out that we're the people breaking this. We're the people doing the analysis. We know what we're talking about. If you're a new viewer, this is the real world, folks. This is the real deal. And all of you that work in this system and live on this planet, you're being attacked by this. This is high-tech, modern, authoritarian control. And again, outdoes 1984. Here it is.
This is a test of the emergency alert system.
Executive Order 10,995 allows the government to seize and control the communication media.
Our nation is at war against a far-reaching network of violence and hatred. Training camps have been struck, leaders eliminated, plots disrupted. And all those involved in the attempted act of terrorism must know you too will be held to account.
Think about it. 15 years ago, we allowed the federal government to hardwire emergency takeover systems of all major communications and media in the United States. Now the federal government's coming out in the open and admitting what was already in their internal documents, that they're going to begin having federal break-ins over local news.
If this had been an actual alert, this message would contain specific information on the watch or warning being issued.
Well, it's really happening. Bonafide tyranny is coming to our shores. If you look at Egypt, you've witnessed how the government has seized control of the TV and radio stations. But in the United States, the federal government doesn't need to do that, because under changes in FCC regulations over television and radio in 1996, EAS emergency systems are put in at the radio or TV towers. They're also put in at the national and local cable systems, where the federal government puts a box in at the transmission tower where they can flip a switch and shortwave towers nationwide take over those computers and put out an audio signal of whatever message they want. Senator John Rockefeller, goes by Jay Rockefeller, has announced they need to end the internet, that it's bad, and that private companies will have government hubs tied into them to snoop on everyone without warrants and to be able to shut down the web instantly. See, right now the government has to get warrants and go out and seize all the hubs. Here's another one. America's secret police. Intelligence experts warn the proposal to merge two Pentagon intelligence units could create an ominous new agency. And the head of cybersecurity just resigned 3 weeks ago, saying the Pentagon and Homeland Security are taking over the internet and it's a threat to freedom in America. So their own guy's quitting, saying this takeover is happening. All the radio and TV in the nation under the emergency alert system in 96, under a federal law and executive order, FEMA is wired into the transmitters themselves and cable to take over all the systems and broadcast anytime they want. Before, the stations would tune to a signal themselves. Now that's out of their hands. All of that's going on. So see, they've got the preachers, they've got the citizens, they've got the military prepared for martial law, and they could remotely listen to you even when the cell phone's off. That's standardized the cell phones. And all telecommunications companies were given $9 billion total to put in whole floors for the NSA to move into. So the NSA doesn't tap the phone companies, they are the phone companies. Just like FEMA on all radio, TV, cable, you name it, is already in control with hubs at the transmitter site or at the satellite uplink site. The last piece of equipment, this is in my film Police State 2000, by the way. See, I was sitting there talking to the engineer in 1996 at KJFK FM, and he calls me over and goes, "Look at this, Alex. They're ordering us to do this. Here's all the secret documents. We're not supposed to show this to anybody." And I was sitting there reading it. FEMA takes over through this. Everything you do goes through this system. I mean, that's what you hear when it goes bang, bang, bang. You know, this has been an emergency alert system. That is a federal test tone going via shortwave radio transmitters, dials in and takes control of your radio station. And that's what they say right here. During emergencies, when they're rounding people up and arresting them and shooting people, their job is to keep the media shut down. They don't have to come arrest Alex Jones. They hit one button, the internet shuts off. They hit one button.
If this had been an actual alert, this message would contain specific...
It doesn't matter, though. The transmission has already been sent. And it's when they make their move that it'll be bad for people like me, but the New World Order is going down because we saw what you were doing. We planted billions of seeds. And they now are even more panicked and launching all this, and all they're doing is waking more people up. You tyrants always think you're invincible, but I have studied history and I have foreseen your downfall. That's not confidence, ladies and gentlemen. That's my good old boy guts, and they know. You vampires are going to get your ass handed to you. Because there are a lot of us that don't care what happens to us individually as long as you go down with us. And it's that spirit that's rising that will crush you. Period. Bunch of murdering scum. You've already soft-killed most of us, and we know it. I'm dead already. But you are going to be defeated, you and all your servants. You think the public now knows about you hiring Al-Qaeda and using them all over the world. We're waking up the military. You're going to fail. Time is running out. The sands of the hourglass show that your time is short, and you know it. That's why you run around butchering the planet's genetics, murdering the innocent, engaging in crime after crime. But the spirit of righteous indignation will overturn you and smash you. And you can feel it rising, and I can see your fear.